Welcome everybody to this Sunday morning service here at Salt and Light Christian Church. The story that I have for you all this morning is from 2 Kings chapter 6. Pastor Brent's Wednesday morning Bible study inspired my story this morning, so I just wanted to give his Wednesday morning Bible study a shout out. I recommend you guys go to that. It's pretty good. And so at this time, Elisha was the prophet of God for the people of Israel, and there was a group of Israelites that were following Elisha and trying to live for God. And however, they were kind of a small commune, and they were growing in number. And so they needed to expand and have a little bit more space. And so a group of them came to the prophet, and they asked him if it would be okay if they went down to the Jordan to fell some trees and bring back logs to create more structures and expand. And so Elisha gave them permission. He said, go and do so. And afterwards, they asked Elisha if he would also go with them to do so. And he agreed. And so the group went down to the river, and they began cutting down the trees around the river. And as they were working, one man, while he was swinging his axe, the head of his axe flung off into the river and sunk like a stone. And this man was greatly distressed because he had borrowed the tool from one of his friends or perhaps even his master. And he had no means of paying it back. He couldn't afford his own, of course. And so he was very distressed and worried about what he would do, how he would, fix this. And so he went to Elisha and explained the situation. And Elisha asked where the axe head had fallen. And the man pointed in the river where it had fallen in. And so Elisha took a stick and he tossed it into the river, into the same place. And immediately upon the stick falling into the water, the iron axe head floated up through the water and bobbed on the surface of the river. And Elisha commanded the man to take it. And he picked the axe head up out of the river and was able to fix his borrowed tool and not be in debt to whoever he borrowed it from. From this story, not only do we see a miracle, an awesome example of God working through his prophet, but we see that no matter how big or small our issues are, our grievances, that God is there to help us out with them. This man had borrowed this axe because he didn't have his own. He couldn't afford to buy his own. And if it hadn't been able to be fixed, this man would have been stuck with no way to pay it back and perhaps even put into further servitude because of it. However, God worked through his prophet Elisha to produce a miracle and to save that man from that distress. And so if we are walking with the people of God in the ways of God, we can be assured that God will have our backs and look out for us, no matter how great or small our issues. So thank you. Let's bring the music up.